Hello Aquarius, it's me Maria Gaian from Wild Fox Alchemy, and I'm here today to do your monthly reading for business and finance for June 2021. So let's get stuck in and see what June has in store for you. I cannot begin to tell you how much of a mare I've had with this video. If you're not a believer in Mercury being in retrograde, I tried to do Pisces video, and at 8 minutes precisely, for the first 2 times I tried to record it, my phone turned itself off, and then eventually I had to re-record the whole thing again, and it took me so many efforts and it was a right nightmare. Then I came to upload all my videos to YouTube and realised that Aquarius was actually missing, and I had 1 minute and something like 39 seconds of me saying, hello, this is Aquarius reading, this is marvellous, and I think I laid the cards out and that was it, turned off. So I had no video at all, and it was a really fun reading. And with the Pisces one it was really easy because I could just, the cards were already out and I could see them and I knew that the video had stopped, so all I needed to do was just pick the reading back up. But for the Aquarius reading, and it was a great reading as well, it was really good, I can't recreate the cards because I can't remember what they were, and the video isn't long enough to show it. So I'm really disappointed. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to start all over again. But I know that Spirit will tell you what you need to hear, so we'll not worry too much. What I always say at this stage of the game is sometimes it takes me a little while to get the cards out. So you have 2 choices. If you're busy, then fast forward to where the reading actually starts. If you're not busy, then it's a great opportunity to just sit and think for a moment about what your intentions are for your business and for finances this month. What would you like to see happen? It's just a nice excuse to meditate and chill out for a bit and think about any questions you might have that you need answering this month. These cards are jumping. I don't think it's going to take me very long, to be honest. Right, that's it. We've got all the cards now. I may need to clarify a few as we go along. We'll see what happens. This card is you. It's the significator. This is, oh, my chair. I have a really squeaky stool, so if you hear any squeaky sounds, I apologise in advance. It's really annoying and I need to get a new chair. But this, my space here is quite small and I can't fit much in. I've got 2 really beautiful new chairs. I say new, they're antiques, but one of them is like a throne and I love it, but it needs a minor repair doing to it. I picked it up at auction and it just needs a fix before I can bring it in here. But it is quite large and I don't know whether it's going to take up too much space. And then I have another one that's like a French farmhouse chair, and I literally got it for €2 at an auction. And again, it's a really lovely chair, but it's quite a big wooden chair and I don't know if it'll fit in here. Anyway, I digress. Ignore the squeak. I'll cut it out of the video if it's too much, but I'm going to try not to move so it doesn't do it. But I'm a bit of a fidget bomb, so you know, you never know. Right, this is the Tower card, Release and Revelation. This is an interesting card to have as your overall energy here for the month, because it's about change, it's about sudden change, it's about upheaval, chaos and revelations. But Aquarius, it also stands for awakening, and I feel like June is definitely a month for awakening. We've also got, is it the 14th of June? Yeah, the 14th of June, we've got a Saturn-Uranus clash, which means it's time for lasting transformation, and I feel like this card is fitting in with that for you. Just put my book back down. I feel like that sort of energy has most definitely influenced a lot of the readings. I feel like this particular energy has influenced a lot of the readings that I've done this month. This is not necessarily a bad thing at all. Sometimes sudden change can be amazing. You just need to be ready for it. I feel like it's immensely positive. This is a chameleon who adapts to change really, really well, and I feel that that's what you'll do this month. I don't feel that this is anything to be worried about. I think you just need to be open to opportunities. So in this position we've got the present card, and we've got the Queen of Crystals, can't speak, and the keywords to that card are comfort and prosperity. She is all about physical and material things, and I feel like you've been working really hard. You've been providing financially, and I think things have been paying off for you, to be quite honest, and I think it's going to continue in a similar vein. Hopefully we'll see what comes up. It's crossed by the Page of Feathers, and this little guy is the raccoon, and he's an explorer. This is a message to tell you to explore your possibilities that are coming up. I feel like you've got a lot of new ideas. I feel like you've got a lot of... There might be some new ways that you could put your ideas forward. I have to read the reverse message as well, just to give you a full balance on what's crossing you. This is about you perhaps questioning everything. Maybe a little bit too much. Maybe you're inside your own head a little bit too much and you're thinking too hard about things. The little raccoon there, as much as he's cute and lovely, he can also be a little bit destructive. He gets bored quite easily. Just keep an eye out for that. Here we have the card in the position of your subconscious mind. What is the root of any problem that you have? What is going on subconsciously for you? And we've got the Four of Crystals there. This is quite stable. This is quite good. It's about control and security. Is this, again, it's about physical and material things. Are you feeling out of control? Do you feel secure? Do you feel in control? I get the feeling that you do. I think subconsciously, you feel okay. I don't think there's anything for you to really worry about. In spot 5 here, which is what needs healing. What's in the distant past, what's perhaps coming up now. And we've got the Temperance card, which stands for balance and harmony. It's about moderation, patience, and having a purpose. Okay, we'll see where that fits with everything else. The recent past, we've got the Five of Crystals. A little bit of conflict, a little bit of tension perhaps around your material goods. The keywords there are persistence and new possibilities. So you've really kept going. I feel that persistence from you, that you've kept pushing, that you've kept... my attention's been brought back to control. That you've really been trying to control what's going on. We've got a lot of crystals here. This is starting to feel like quite a good, prosperous reading for you, Aquarius. We've got the Six of Crystals. Your focus has been on synergy, gratitude, and again, harmony and cooperation. But again, this is about physical material things. This is what you've been focusing on. You want to gather those things around you. Near future, you've got the Ace of Feathers, mental clarity and foundation. This is about feeling clear about what is going on and building a foundation for your business as you move forward. Your external environment, we've got the Five of Acorns, which would suggest that you've got some challenges coming up around you. Not necessarily of your own making, but from other people, other things that are going on around you. We move into this card, which is your hopes and fears. We've got the Shaman there, divine wisdom and spiritual power. We'll discuss that in a little moment, and then we get to your outcome, which is the Emperor. That's my pony shouting. I think it's breakfast time, so they're having a shout. So let's look at this reading as a whole. and see what we can figure out is the story to it. We've got a lot of crystals. This is very, very much about your focus. Your focus has most definitely been on material things. Your subconscious focus, your recent past has been all about material things, but perhaps not quite getting where you want to be. Because we've got the 4 here as the subconscious idea, which is subconsciously you want more to manifest more. Your recent past, you've been working on that. We get to number 5, and then number 6, your actual focus, your conscious focus is on gathering that material abundance around you. But then over this side, your challenges and your near future are all about intellect and thought. This is what's going on in your mind, Aquarius. What is going on in your mind? We've got a little bit of fire going on in your external surroundings. We've got hopes and fears surrounding the shaman about spirituality, about seeing things from a higher perspective, for perhaps having to rise above. I don't know where, I'm going to have to clarify as to why that would be a worry for you this month, Aquarius. But the outcome, we've got the Emperor, and the Emperor is all about good structure, focus, stability, and I feel like there's a lot here that is about comfort, security, balance, harmony, stability, focus. I'm being drawn to the shaman over the focus word, because the shaman is represented there by the eagle, who's very good at focusing in on the minor details. So I feel like as a whole, this reading is about you gathering material things, seeking material things in order to provide a stable life for yourself and for your family, which is not a bad thing, and it looks like it's actually going to start working. We've got this guy here who talks about exploration and discovery, and I feel like this links to this Ace of Feathers in the near future, where if you take the time now to look at your options, this is what will come of it. I feel like, you know, you're going to start getting ideas, messages coming in that suggest things to you. Be careful you don't try to do too many of those things all at once, but I do feel like you'll feel really clear about where you're going with this. So it's a good, and again with this shaman, it's all about sort of internal discovery. Maybe you're worrying about a lack of clarity, maybe you're worrying a little bit about not really knowing quite where you're going, but I think you will know. I think messages are going to come into you both intuitively and from outside that are going to give you what you need to build that foundation for your business. And I think that's what you need in order to manifest this lot, because that's what you want. You want this material stuff because you want to feel financially secure, and there's no problem with that at all. Financial security brings us so much freedom, but you are going to experience some issues here with some challenges. I mean, he looks quite angry there, but I think what this message is saying to me is, although I've kind of labelled the positions of these cards, but the story that I'm getting here is that you're going to have some challenges to face, and they are growth experiences, but be careful how you handle them. Spirit is telling you here with this shaman card to rise above them, to not get embroiled in anything that is a total waste of time. It's not for you to fight those arguments. Rising above is what the shaman does best. He looks at things from a completely different perspective. He's not interested in petty arguments, and that's kind of where this reading is going for you, that I think you have to rise above whatever these challenges are. But the outcome is really good. I feel like you will get the stability that you want. Whether that comes from financial abundance is another matter. I know that's what you want, but I'm not entirely sure that that's where it's going to come from. I'm going to clarify that Emperor card, I think. But definitely, I want you to be ready, because something is going to happen this month that's going to turn everything on its head. Now, when I talk about the distant past and childhood healing and stuff, and we talk about temperance here, about balance, moderation, purpose, etc., I might need to clarify that as well, because I'm not sure, honestly, where that really applies to your past. Now, don't get me wrong, normally if I do a private reading for somebody, then I know what their question is. I know what it is they want. I know what it is that they're struggling with. So when I get it in a general reading, it can be something really simple that is blocking you, or it could be something really deep that's blocking you, and I don't really always know the answer to that, so you have to take it as it resonates. It's talking about recognizing challenge as an opportunity to grow, which brings me back to this Five of Acorns, that there's going to be challenge around you, and I wonder if you're going to feel a little bit upset by it, if it's going to, I hate the word trigger because it's so overused these days, but I feel like it could trigger past issues for you, and you need to be careful that you don't slip into old patterns of how you might have responded when you were a kid or a teenager to these sorts of challenges that come up. Okay, I am going to clarify some of these, and I'm going to do it with the Wildwood Tarot, which is one of my favourites. So first of all, I'm going to clarify the Temperance card. And I want to clarify the Emperor card. Is there anybody else that I need to clarify? Let's have a look. Clarify anyway, we'll just go for that. Right, okay. Ignore my chair. Again, it's rattling for Britain. I wonder if WD-40 would fix my chair. You've got two out of the bow suite here. And bows in this are the same as wands or acorns, fire cards. I'm going to start with this past blockage, a blockage from the distant past, and we've got all these snakes here, a tangle of snakes, all in a bit of a knot. And then we've got this guy at the top that's kind of, I don't know if he's just sort of looking at him going, look at the state you've got yourselves into. This is about struggling for dominance. They're all battling to find out who is the one that is going to win out. I feel like perhaps this has been what's happened to you in the past. A struggle for dominance, a struggle for balance, a struggle for leadership. And that interests me because the struggles that you've had in the past are going to come up again here in your external environment, and you're going to have to change the way that you deal with them. Do not deal with them the way that you might have done years ago. Rise above is what I keep being told. Rise above, rise above, rise above the challenges, and you'll be okay. Now, I've also got the Knight of Bows. Now, he isn't reversed. We don't do reversals in this deck, actually. But here he is. He's a stealthy night hunter. He has a beguiling mixture of wisdom and playfulness. Determination leads you to success, but sometimes at personal cost. Your life may change or enter a different path at any moment. Native wit and cleverness guide your steps towards fulfillment, as does your gift of anticipating the future. This card talks about moving house, immigration, leaving old ways behind, separation by distance, or changing direction. And I'm being guided that it's the change of direction that we're talking about here. It links back to this tower moment. Something is going to come up that is going to create a new direction for you, and you are going to need to be adaptable and flexible enough to go along with that. And it'll turn out absolutely fine. if you go swanning through life at the moment without expecting any sort of upheaval, it's going to come as a bigger shock to you when this change comes in. I don't feel like it's necessarily a bad change. I mean, all change to some extent feels uncomfortable for us as human beings. We struggle with change. We like things to stay the same. We like things to be predictable. So when something happens that is unpredictable, we tend to have a bit of a panic. And there are going to be two ways to look at this change. And one is that you can go, I don't like change, I don't do change, I don't want change, I'm scared of it. The other way to look at it is to see it as divine wisdom guiding you to what you are meant to do. And you need to be like the fox, you will be like the fox, and you will adapt. Your wisdom will help you to adapt to whatever this circumstance is and make the best out of it, which is a really good thing. That's what you want to do. So down here I've got the Two of Stones, and I was reluctant to put that anywhere because, I don't know, it says challenge, and so I've stuck it next to the Five of Acorns. But it wasn't really, I know this is going to sound weird, I wasn't really choosing it to clarify anything. It just insisted on coming out, and I wasn't sure where it belonged, but I think it belongs next to this Five of Acorns. This is female hares boxing for domination and territorial rights. Well, what are these snakes doing? They're fighting for their domination, and this is what's going to come along here. Somebody is going to start messing about trying to be dominant. They're going to raise issues about your level of leadership, and that is going to challenge you because this has happened before. You've had these people, you've possibly even thought that they were your allies, but they've turned out to be snakes in the grass. So I feel here it's going to happen again. You might have to hold your ground and defend your position. You're going to have to hold on to your own personal integrity and sincerity. You can have honest differences of opinion, and sometimes they can be productive. So that's not a problem, but I feel like you need to be sure of yourself. You need to be ethical. You need to know what you are doing. This is where all this comes in, this mental clarity. If you're mentally clear about where you're going and what you're doing, when things crop up, you'll know what to do. It's when you're not sure where you're going and what you're doing that these things become an issue, because you then are trying to make on-the-spot decisions about what the right thing to do is. And then later you repent because you think, oh, if only I'd have known what was going to happen, I wouldn't have done it this way. Whereas if you've built a plan for your business, you've got it, your idea is in your head, you know what you're doing, you know where you want to be, you're looking at your own stability, you want material goods to give you freedom, you know you want all that. So go with it. And when this challenge comes up, try not to be triggered back to this past time when these things happened before, because just because it happened before doesn't mean that the outcome will be the same this time. You're ready for them this time, you know what's what, and you know how to deal with a challenge. You need to be adaptable and flexible adaptable and flexible to change, so that you can actually move forward, and then the future looks quite positive for you. But yeah, I'm still, just to remind you, I'm still being told that this is not about hopes and fears particularly. It's about you rising above whatever this is and not falling back into old habits. It's really interesting. I do feel like your focus has been very much on the material side of things. It's been about money and financial abundance and buying things and that sort of stuff. Maybe a bit of luxury, a life of luxury going on. That's the sort of thing you want. You want this comfort and prosperity, and you've been heading in the right direction. But I'm being brought back to this guy again, and the feeling that there's a hope or a fear actually around spirituality, and whether spirituality can live alongside the desire for material goods. But I don't want you to worry about that. You know, you can have a spiritual practice and still have money. There's no law that says you can't. There's no law that says you can't. So, you know, I think there's nothing really to be afraid of about bringing more spiritual side to your business. And certainly I feel like you're going to need that spiritual side to kind of deal with this, so that it washes over you and you don't actually let it cause conflict. This conflict's been going on for a little bit, hasn't it? Because I've just realised there we're leading from the recent past, last 3 to 6 months, we've got conflict going on, straight into all around you. You've got this conflict still, this challenge. Somebody's challenging you, and it's going to be, you're going to feel like you need to fight it out. But don't fight it out. Rise above it. Just let it go. Let it go and rise above it. Because then you'll get to the end. But you need to maintain your focus, and you need to be really clear about what it is that you want. So before I finish this reading, I'm going to just get you an animal spirit card. Whoa! Okay, how do we proceed? I've got about 100 up now. Spirit says no too many. And it's happened again. I've got another 5. That's not what we want. We just want 1, please, Spirit. I can even cope with 2. We don't need all the deck. I've got 2 anyway. I've got 2 anyway. And I feel like this is in relation to all these crystals and all this focus that you've had on the crystal side of this reading. The past, what you're focusing on, what you subconsciously want. This is a reminder that there is always enough. If you're coming from a position of lack, thinking that you don't have enough, you need to stop that thinking, because there is always enough. There's always more money, there's always more food, there's always more of everything. We might have been led to believe that there isn't. There's a distinct feeling of scarcity around a lot of the time, and when you're struggling for money it can feel like that, you know, there's not enough to go around, but there is. There's plenty. It's just finding ways to get it. Now then we've got koala spirit. Spirit has a plan, and I feel that this kind of belongs with these two, that you need to be focused. You need to listen to your intuition now. There is a plan here for you. You just need to listen and follow the guidance. Do the exploration and rediscover new things, and then follow your intuition. Follow the plan, because there is a plan here for you. And sticking with the plan is going to be the thing that will get you through, because you'll know what you need to do. When you're scattered, you can't know what to do. So I feel like maybe take some time to just sit and consider where you think you want your business to go. Where is it headed? What can you do to mitigate this conflict that's going on? Do you need to release something toxic or somebody toxic to enable you to move forward? I'm not sure. I'm sure you'll know. I'd love to know in the comments what it is, who's challenging you, who is doing this, and why does it matter? Who's challenged you in the past and what's happened? Because all of that is in relation to this now. So I'm going to leave it there, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm hoping that it's finally recorded properly. I'll see you next month. This is Maria signing out with love and magic always.